Life is beautiful. Green grass, blue sky, colorful flowers, white snowy Alps, love, family and friends. Therefore, I have taken it upon myself and made sure that everyone gets an opportunity to witness this beautiful world in all its glory. Because you need to see it to feel it.
He is, in terms of technology, one of the leading eye surgeons in the world.
He had a photographic memory of things.
He stood out among the rest of the crowd.
He never repeats his motions. It's just pure joy to see him do surgery.
I try to do everything exactly like him because he's just that good.
The one streak that I felt that he had is that he wants to always be in the front.
He's known as a Superman in ophthalmology.
Thank you so much, sir. You saved my life and my eyes, and you've given me colorful life.
I am Dr. Sri Ganesh, and I am the Chairman and Managing Director of Nethradhama Hospitals Private Limited.
How are you doing today, sir?
Good.
And sir, tell me a little more details about when were you born, which year, which city?
I was born in 1966. I was born in Bangalore. I was actually a post-mature baby. I was born at 10 months. When I was born, I was cyanosed. That means I was blue because of lack of oxygen. The doctor told my parents and my relatives that we don't know if the child will survive. We need to keep the child in an incubator and give oxygen for 48 hours, and only then we will know.
My mother-in-law, his mother, she was so upset, she prayed to Lord Ganesha. That is, there is a big Ganesha in Baswangudi. She said, I'm going to name him Ganesha in your name, and I'm going to give a cradle and put it in your temple. He was born big and very fair, and the nurses used to pinch him, he used to smile. So he was the darling of the hospital.
And that's how my name is just Sri Ganesh. So I'm born by the grace of God.
When he grew up, he was quite good looking, and I used to dress him up.
Always smiling.
Always smiling. So everybody used to, and they used to say, oh, he's so good. He always imagined that he was Devanand. He used to sit on a rock and try to pose like Devanand.
I was very playful, and I used to be playing all the time.
We were in a traditional school. It was called a Kumaran school. So very strict, extremely strict. And you'll see this Ganesh is totally a different Ganesh than that Ganesh. He was not well built, lean body. We thought he would be like any of us. Kuch business kar lega ye aadmi, that's what we thought.
Around 6th or 7th, we both again would hang out a lot, and then we had this one last class or period, as we would call it. And then they said, well, you can just go play, and after the bell rings, you can go home. And we were like, heck with it. Ganesh and I thought, hey, come on, we'll just get out of here.
His house was nearby. He used to come walking. I had my cycle there. So I said, I'll go and bring my cycle.
I held both of our bags, and Ganesh kind of went and slowly started sneaking his bike out. And just as we was about to get on it, our PT master kind of came running with his cane and said, "Where the hell are you guys going?"
He paraded us in front of the headmaster, and then we got a few whacks on our knuckles. So I used to bother my mother a lot. She was worried that I would grow up to be a useless fellow if I didn't study. And she was behind me all the time. But my whole philosophy was, why do I need to sit every day and study? I just used to study one day before the exam.
He was not very serious about any studies or anything. I mean, he was good, but nothing extraordinary. His memory power was very good, and his absorbing power also. He would get deep into the subject. He never did any superficial studies.
My daughter is voracious reader actually. Her friends used to tell me, if you want to see Ambika, go to the library. She will be there, like that. But Ganesh, once he reads, I think, completely registered.
I was sure that he would come off well. I never had any doubt any time.
I had a lot of activities in college. I used to play basketball for my college. I used to play tennis. I was in the NCC. I did the advanced leadership camp, and then I did the para-training camp.
Sri Ganesh and I, we were classmates in the pre-university, which actually roughly translates to the 11th and the 12th today. We went to the same college, National College, Jayanagar. Not much of choices also at that time. It was either engineering or medicine.
My father always encouraged both of us, me and my sister, to become doctors. He was an engineer, a civil engineer, but he said, yes, being a doctor is it's a noble profession.
Very focused, extremely focused, very dedicated. Even in those days, I don't think he had different ideas in his head. So he was clear what he wanted to become.
After PUC, he got a seat in Bangalore as an architecture. Then he attended that NCC parade in Delhi and everything. They got the medal and everything. They became the choosers actually for education. And he got a medical seat.
That was a landmark year for me, 1984, because that's when my life took a different direction. That's the year where I got my medical seat. And that was also the year when I did my para-training camp in Agra. And that's where I met Suman, who was to be my future wife. And there's a story behind it.
I'm Dr. Suman Sri Ramaswamy. I'm an anesthesiologist by profession. Well, I think the universe conspired to bring us together way back in 1984. I was just 17 going on 18, and he was 18 going on 19.
This was in Agra, and then we were in the barracks. My suitcase was stolen with all my money in it. I didn't know how to get back because I just had 2 rupees in my pocket. I was just wearing my tracksuit, and that's all I had with 2 rupees in my pocket. I told the camp commandant also this has happened. They searched for the suitcase, they didn't get it. He went around asking the cadets, does anyone have any spare cash to lend this boy who's lost his suitcase? There was this girl who volunteered and said that, okay, I have some extra money, I can help him out. And she gave me 100 rupees.
Like a good Samaritan, I just lent him some money.
I can't say whether it was love at first sight, but definitely there was a recognition. There was something that happened. It was a magical moment where eyes met briefly, and then I noticed that she had the most beautiful eyes. Yeah, my heart probably skipped a beat. If that's what you call love at first sight, then probably it was.
last day, he wrote a message. Dear Suman, your life lies ahead of you like a piece of untrodden snow. So be careful how you tread, for every mark shall show. And I very, very playfully wrote,
To meet and part is the way of life, but to part and meet is the hope of life.
I never knew that my life would unfold in such a unique way with him when he wrote that message.
We were coming back by second class AC sleeper. We were, I think, 15 boys and 2 girls.
I was sitting in the upper berth and peeling oranges. So then I peeped down, he was in the lower berth.
Then I looked up at her and she said,
Would you like some oranges? So he said, why not? So immediately he came up.
And we both sat in the upper berth and she was actually peeling oranges and then gave it to me and we had a nice conversation.
I don't know what happened, some kind of chemistry or what do you call the biochemistry happened. It was so nice that we could share that moment. That moment we always remember when we look at an orange, we look at each other. That is where it all started. And very strangely, after a few days, he came back with his father to return that money. And I didn't know that 100 rupee note would bring so much of fortune and luck and goodness into my life. Our friendship kind of developed over the years, and I found this boy so excited about meeting me almost every weekend. He would make a bahana, just to meet me.
One fine day, he came on his two-wheeler and said, and today is a festival at home. My parents want me to bring Suman. Ours is a traditional society. How can I send? So I said, no. Then he went back and told his parents. He said, go take the car and bring our daughter. Then I sent her naturally. Then they invited us to their farm and we became closer and closer.
After that, we joined medicine. In fact, he was the first to join medicine. And a year later, I did. He was my first guru in MBBS. I was in my final year when he went down on his knees. And it happened so romantically. Within a few months, we were engaged. After my final exam, I had still not started my internship. We got married. I was just 22 and he was 23.
Until the time I joined medicine, I was not very serious about studies. But then after I joined medicine, then I really liked the subject.
He was my MBBS classmate. For the last 40 years, we've been close friends. He had a photographic memory of things, so we used to all envy him because he used to read stuff up so fast that we had to stay up all night to cover the topics that he had already finished.
I remember him as a very hardworking and clever, very handsome, of course, and he stood out among the rest of the crowd. He was one of the best students in his class.
The second year and final year, I got the gold medal. I topped the college.
He got his ophthalmology post-graduation seat. And then next year, I got into MD anesthesiology in Command Hospital, Air Force.
The reason why I took up ophthalmology was probably because I saw my grandmother who was blinded after cataract surgery and my great-grandmother on my mother's side, she was also blinded after cataract surgery. And probably this was acting on my mind and probably thinking, yes, there should be a better way of doing this. Even during my post-graduation, I had done about 300 surgeries, including intraocular lenses, corneal grafting, retinal detachment surgeries. I was given a free hand by my professors. And I used to do their VIP cases also. And I passed out with honors with the gold medal from the university. And then I was looking for jobs. Then I went around and I couldn't land a proper job which was paying well. The maximum that they offered me was 3,000 rupees in those days. And so with no options to go, I decided to become an entrepreneur. Suman, of course, was in Kidwai, and then she joined the National Institute of Mental Health, which is NIMHANS. She was the anesthetist. She was doing her senior residency there, and she was getting paid well. So that was also kind of some support for me because she was earning well. So I could take the risk of starting my practice.
I think he really supported me because I could do my post-graduation in anesthesiology, which is a very, very tough field. I used to have night duties, and when I did my neuroanesthesia, I used to come home only once in 3 days.
I already had a family, I had a child. So Supriya was born and I had to support them. Of course, where to start was always, I didn't have any money. My father had a house which was vacant. So I told him, Dad, if you can kind of give me that ground floor rent-free for 6 months, then I'll start paying you rent. And then he agreed, and then I decided to start practice there. Most of the eye clinics are called Netralayas. And this is a very common name, Netralaya. So I wanted to have a name which is different from Netralaya. My mother-in-law actually was a Sanskrit professor in MES college. One day I was visiting my in-laws' place, and then I asked her, why don't you give me an alternative name?
Then several names came. Finally, I said Nethradhama. Nowhere it is there, and this will be very unique, I said.
And that's how we named it Nethradhama.
So we couldn't afford many employees those days. So I would double up any way that he needed help.
Both of us used to sit and clean the OT, scrub the OT. We didn't have any OT assistants. She was my first assistant also. So that's how it started, in a very, small, humble place. I always believe in giving the best to my patients. And I think this kind of percolated among the patients that yes, he probably is there to solve your problems. When you go there, he gives you a patient listening, and then he tries his best to kind of help you out. And then patients started trickling in. But the biggest shift was when I started Phacoemulsification. Phacoemulsification had just come in. So then I decided to go and observe one of the top doctors in the US. His name is John Shepard, and he was one of the pioneers in phacoemulsification, and he was also doing the FDA trials for LASIK. So I went there for a few months, and I was a fellow under him. And then I learned the techniques and then came back. For the Phaco machine, I actually borrowed money. My sister was in the US, and then I kind of borrowed money from her, borrowed money from my parents. I told them, I'll give you the same or more interest than what you're getting in the bank, and somehow convinced them to give me the money. And then they gave me the money, and that's how I started. So the first case I got was a mature cataract in a very high myope, that means who has a high short sight. I took to Phaco like a fish takes to water, and there was no looking back after that first case. He did very well. He got 6/9 vision, and then I was thrilled, and then that's how my Phaco journey started. I was one of the first to even start topical Phaco, that is no injection, no stitch, cataract surgery in Karnataka, and then I demonstrated it also in a live surgery during the state conference. And then I was also doing refractive surgery. I started out with radial keratotomy, where you make incisions on the cornea with a diamond blade. But then LASIK was just coming in. When I was with John Shepard, he was doing the FDA trials for LASIK. So I'd observed a lot of LASIK surgeries. So I wanted to start LASIK. The best machine then, the most expensive, was from Germany, from a company called Technolas. It was the Chiron 217C. And this was something that every refractive surgeon aspired to have. So I decided I'm going to go in for that machine because it gives the best results. And then, but I didn't have the money. With a lot of difficulty, I got a loan from a cooperative bank, and I took a loan of $450,000 US. Of course, once the patient started enjoying the benefits of the surgery, then they started referring their friends, relatives. So word of mouth, it kept spreading, and I started getting patients in. And it has grown. Our dedication to our patients, our ability to give good results, take care of them. I think this is what helped in the long run.
He always believed in training parallelly. He was never a lone private practitioner. So from day one, he would always have a student who was being trained either in cataract surgery or later on in phacoemulsification, intraocular lens implantation, then in refractive surgery.
The eyes are the most important of the 5 senses. If you look at the 5 sense organs, you can do without most of them, but without eyesight, it's very difficult to live life. And in India, basically, we are the leading country for blindness, which is sad. We have about 30 million blind in the world, out of which 13 million are in India. We have only about 27,000 ophthalmologists in the country. So that's also one of our kind of initiatives, because we have a lot of training programs. We have post-graduation in ophthalmology, which is the DNB program. We have postdoctoral fellowship programs for training in different specialties, subspecialties of ophthalmology. We train candidates from all over India and also all over the world, because we have some very unique technologies, unique techniques. So then we started opening the branches. And most of them who are actually taking care of patients in the branches are my fellows who have trained under me. So the same ethos, the same ethics, the same kind of practice which is there. We don't have any investors, or we haven't taken any funding. So it's an organic growth. It's a family-run business.
One, he's a master surgeon. He is, in terms of technology, one of the leading eye surgeons in the world. Some of the latest machines in the world, he has advised on them. He has co-developed many of them. He's well out there as far as technology is concerned.
Sir is an innovator and he thinks very differently. What I like about it is he breaks it down. What is the solution? How it can be done better? There are so many instruments which he has designed to make our lives easier as a surgeon.
So this is something which I'm very passionate about, because I always see as to how things can be done better, can be done more efficiently, with less complications. So that's how I always think, and then this is the road to innovation.
I believe that the discipline that he manages in his daily life, and he's a great teacher. He loves teaching. You know, he's very happy to share the knowledge.
Dr. Sri Ganesh sir started his fellowship programs 25 years back. He used to stand and supervise himself. He used to hold hands and teach. And I'm fortunate to have learned under him. He used to say it's not the number of surgeries you do, but how you learn from each case that is very important. He has honed the skills of many ophthalmologists.
It's very nice that you have the experience of being a student under Dr. Sri Ganesh. The first quality is that you get, he's very approachable. So be it any surgical doubt or any matter where you want to discuss a case, you can just approach him anytime and give you a very honest opinion on how to go about it. And that is a rarity and one of the best teachers I've come across.
Good teachers are many out there. Like, better ones are plenty, but then one like Dr. Sri Ganesh is like once in a lifetime of a teacher. He will put his patients before himself.
The patient is the center of all our activities. We are a very patient-centric organization. So everything we do is for the patient.
That personal touch he will have with the patient. So people from across the globe will come asking for him. They will wait for him for months, for days to just see him in his busy schedule. And then when people wait for him, the patients are there like, no, we just want to meet him despite of so many other drugs. It's like, oh God. There is that additional personal touch which he adds, and then like that's the best thing I've learned or he has taught us.
As soon as you see a doctor, you should accept him. That is important. And he is a person who walks and talks and looks very friendly, and that is something, which is very important for any patient.
We started the Shraddha Eye Care Trust in 2000 in the year. And this was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to give back to society, especially the underprivileged. We all learned from the poor people. Anatomy, the bodies that we cut up and learned were from destitutes and unclaimed bodies. Even the government hospitals, they were all poor patients. And we learned from them. So I wanted to give back to this community. With that in mind, I started the Shraddha Eye Care Trust. It's a not-for-profit trust.
It originally started as a clinic where he would do about 150 free surgeries every year. Over the last 20 years, Shraddha has grown to become 2 super speciality eye hospitals in Bangalore. The combined OPD of about 900 per day. We have 6 modular OTs. We do 500 community eye screening camps every year, and we do 10,000 cataract surgeries for free every year.
It's very fulfilling to actually serve the people who deserve this kind of care, who are not able to afford this. They don't even know that a simple operation can cure them of their blindness. So we need to go to them. They have to have access to this care, and that's what Shraddha does.
सेवा करनी है तो पूरी करनी होगी. You know, they don't have money to come to Bangalore, even if we are giving them a free surgery. Then we go back after a month to check on them. Right? So it is really end to end.
I'm very proud. I have 3 children. 2 of them have already joined. They are ophthalmologists. My first daughter actually trained under me. She did a fellowship with me.
Hi. I knew I would always join the practice. It's what you eat, breathe, sleep, almost. You're born into a family that's so passionate about what they do and what they're doing and building that it kind of gets ingrained in you at a very young age. They would only talk about this. So we picked up a lot of things through the years. Everything I do today, even my surgery, it's like a carbon copy of him. I try to do everything exactly like him because he's just that good.
My second daughter also is a very skilled surgeon. She's finishing a cornea fellowship. She wants to develop the eye bank and also reduce cornea blindness in India. So she has big plans.
His passion for his work is very inspiring, but also his ability to think out of the box. Like, why can't we think in another way? That feature of his, that ability is what has made him an innovator. That is something that really inspires me.
My son is doing his medicine in the States. He wanted to go abroad and study. He's also interested in ophthalmology. So I think the whole family is into it. So how long is your internal medicine posting?
It's about 6 weeks.
6 weeks, okay. And after that?
I have pediatrics.
Pediatrics, okay. Good.
He is a friend. He's always been very easy to talk to. I think mom was a little more, the one who used to discipline us, and dad was always fun. Used to have a lot of fun with dad. Even when I was a teenager and, you have these rebellious phases, he's always treated me like an adult. I like that he always treated me like an adult. He would never say, no, this is it and that's done and go to your room or something, He'd explain things to me in a way that I could understand. He did encourage us to, pursue our studies and develop that aspect, but he also encouraged us in, developing our sense of adventure and our spirit in that sense. His passion for travel. He used to go on vacations whenever we would get a break.
I love the all-around personality development that he gave my children. The fun, the frolic. We would always travel together as a family. I think he has taken me to every country in the world, and we've tried to take the children everywhere with us.
Just seeing them so happy doing what they do, and also being able to have a balanced lifestyle. They used to travel a lot, so we used to see that, okay, this is a nice life. So we just kind of went into it naturally.
For a cataract surgery, generally around the world, surgeons will take about 27 minutes. The best surgeons will do it in about 10 to 12 minutes. Dr. Supriya, who's Dr. Sri Ganesh's daughter, does it in about 5 minutes. And Dr. Sri Ganesh himself, Don, does it in 2.5 minutes.
It's so his surgical trolley is so neat. He doesn't need an assistant. He picks up his instrument, he operates. It goes back in the same place. Then he takes his next instrument. He never repeats his motions. It's just pure joy to see him do surgery.
He's mastered it actually, doing everything in one shot. One movement and he gets the job done. So he doesn't waste time in repeating movements.
The algorithm of the surgery, you know exactly what you have to do, one step after another. If there's any problem in that step, or what is the alternative that you do.
In fact, in Hong Kong, he was given a standing ovation by 3,000 ophthalmologists, and he's known as the 1-minute cataract surgeon. He's known as the Superman in ophthalmology.
Recently, we launched our 9th hospital in Whitefield. So for that hospital launch, we were discussing who to bring to launch the actual hospital.
Then I decided I'm not going to call any politician or celebrity or VIP. Patients are our VIPs.
Miss Nagashri, who is one of our patients, but she's a very special patient. She is the survivor of the Rameshwaram Cafe blast.
I'm Nagashri. I'm from Bangalore. I cannot forget that bad day actually. It was Black Day to me. That is March 1st. And we had gone for lunch. After 1:30, it will be very rush. So we gone early. At 12:30, we had gone. And we have finished our lunch. We are eating ice cream. At that time, the blast has happened.
Explosion in Bengaluru's Rameshwaram Cafe.
At least 10 people in the explosion following the blast.
3 hotel staff and public members.
The Karnataka police identified a suspect in the CCTV footage.
At that time only, I got fully blurry vision. I cannot see in my right eye.
She had a severe injury to the right side of the face and her arm. She had 20% burns. The blast actually ruptured her eyeball. The whole eyeball was filled with blood and a retinal detachment.
She was told there is 1% chance of you regaining your eyesight. 99% it's gone.
Sorry?
And immediately she was taken up for surgery. It was like a 3.5-hour surgery. We had to do a corneal grafting and then what we call a vitrectomy, a retina surgery, repair the retinal detachment, remove the blood clots, remove the ruptured lens.
They took a call immediately and they have done operation. First operation was done. After the operation, I can see.
And after 4 months, I did a secondary implant. This is again a technique which I kind of developed. 1 month later, actually, I saw her and she's doing well. She's regained 80% of her vision.
Thank you so much, sir. You saved my life and my eyes, and you've given me colorful life.
Our whole world revolves around our patients. Our patients are our VIPs. We want to give them the best. So I decided to call Nagashri to inaugurate the branch. And that's how we had it. And I'm very happy that she agreed and came, and then she was part of the inauguration and function.
I have grown so fond of what he is, which is one of the leaders in eye care in the world, one of the top eye surgeons, the fastest eye surgeon, someone who has developed lots of technologies, someone who's multifaceted on so many levels. You know, being a doctor is one thing, being able to run a successful chain of hospitals is a whole different story.
In terms of the equipment that he had was absolutely world class. And whatever I needed in terms of diagnostic capabilities, which were available at that point in time, perhaps only in outside of India. But I found that at Nethradhama, how they were capable of handling and ensuring that my eye was monitored throughout my career. So even now, the whole family goes to Ganesh. His humane touch and also his simplicity. Everyone knows the kind of quality and the capability that he has. And he's been able to succeed in a profession and grow in a profession which is not easy. And to grow to an international stature. It's nice to see him do that. But again, he is still grounded and he interacts with all the patients the same. I don't think he saw me as Anil Kumble, the cricketer. He saw me as a patient, and that to me is the difference.
From a very small clinic to 10 branches across Karnataka, it has been a very, very gratifying and a phenomenal growth. And this has been possible because of the passion, the dedication, and the hard work of our chairman and managing director, Dr. Sri Ganesh sir.
Just the way he manages so much without really getting stressed. He has so much on his plate. He's a doctor, he's a clinician, he's a surgeon, a teacher, he's a researcher. He runs an organization of 600 people. All that wrapped into one, it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure for anyone, but he does it so effortlessly. So I think that's something I really look up to. I think his core values with which he grew up, like the values that his parents inculcated in him, are what keep him grounded. His roots, his family, those are some of the things that help him, stay grounded.
Whatever he has achieved now today, it's because of his hard work, devotion, concentration, and service-minded, whatever.
Time management is everything in life. And if you manage time, it reduces stress. Because everybody has 24 hours a day. But then you need to also get adequate sleep. You need to also care for your body, your nutrition. You also need to spend time with family, friends. And you need your hobbies because that's something which is very refreshing.
He's a very energized person, especially with his gym. That's another major activity of his. Along with his son, they have some, banter going on, and they love talking about bodybuilding, and, he's a fitness freak.
Your body is like a surgical instrument. A surgical instrument has to be maintained very well. It has to be cleaned, it has to be maintained, and then it is sharp and it does its job.
You don't feel he's that old. Like, we'll get tired roaming here and there behind him, like updating him about patients, but no. He is so calm, so composed, full of energy. We keep his patients ready. He'll come, he'll finish, he'll go to the gym, he'll operate, and I was like, wow, like he'll never get tired. That's because of his physical fitness.
If you want to enjoy life in all its dimensions, health is most important. Health is wealth.
I love his discipline that, we have, gone on trips and we sometimes, it'll be late night. We crash at 1 a.m. and stuff. Even then, he wakes up at 5 sharp and he does his work. He goes for a walk wherever we are. And that's one thing I love about him. I just want to tell him that, at this age, he has so much passion about his work and he has passion for his, other hobbies. I just wish I have half the energy of him at that age. I love his energy.
We have a few hobbies which we kind of share. So he likes to do wildlife photography. So do I. So we do go out into the jungle and do some amount of wildlife photography.
I think most eye surgeons enjoy photography because the eye is nothing but a complex camera. Photography has always enthralled me. I like wildlife photography because when you go into the forest, it's a totally different kind of a feeling. It's very quiet. You feel the chill, the clean air, the oxygen, the trees around, the sounds of the forest, the animals. That's something that I enjoy. So that's also one of my hobbies, my passion. I always enjoyed riding bikes. I got my first bike when I was in medical college. Of course, once I started my practice, then I didn't have much time also for biking. But again, the biking interest got revived probably about 15 years ago. There's a saying, once a biker, always a biker. And biking gives you that sense of freedom. You feel you're on two wheels, you feel the wind on your face, you experience nature in a different way than in a four-wheel. So it's a different feeling. And when you're on a bike, you need to also focus 100%. It's a relaxed focus. and it is like a meditation. You get into a different zone. That's something only bikers kind of can relate to. I've done Leh, Ladakh, I've done Zanskar, then I did South India, a tour of South Africa. Then we did the Alps, we did northern Thailand, and I did also Patagonia, Argentina, and then part of Chile.
A lot of these activities kind of bring people together, right? So you form a community, even with people you don't know before. But it's even more great when people you know and love and have grown up with, you end up doing the same things together. So it's such a bonding type of experience.
The one streak that I felt that he had, which I also have to a certain extent, is that he wants to always be in the front. And that's probably one little trait which has made him what he is today. The successful doctor that he is, the successful businessman that he is, and the successful philanthropist he is.
2 years ago, I think this was in 2022, we entered Chile. I was going down a gravel road, downhill, and then the bike started to wobble, and then I kind of braked, and the brake locked. Once the brake locked, then the wheel spun. I put my foot down, my foot got caught between the ground and the boxer engine, and then I had a bad comminuted fracture of the tibia and fibula.
We received a call saying that he has had this accident and he's fractured his leg. Definitely it was an emotional time. It was scary. We didn't know what was going on. But the minute we heard his voice, I knew that, okay, at least he was conscious oriented. It was fractured at multiple levels. We were just wondering, now we don't know anybody there.
I took it very boldly and I told him, fine, let's see what we can do. And together we, especially the children, really found out how we could transport him in this condition.
My brother was looking at things. I was looking at how to airlift him back.
There was a chance that he could get gangrene. It could have been fatal. So it was very dangerous.
It took me 5 days to get back because it's on the other side of the world.
And the whole time he's taking selfies. He's smiling, he's taking selfies of himself, his leg. We were just numb, We didn't know whether to laugh or cry, what is happening. So that is a perfect example of Dad. He likes to diffuse any tense situation with his usual candor. And 1 week after a brutal accident and an injury and a surgery and everything, he was back to operating. And you know how? With his left foot.
So that's how it was. It was quite, and I kept telling him, no, you're not going to use the bike again. Please, why do you want to take such risks? But then, well, he's adventurous, so he started still doing it, and he's continuing to do. I can only say, be careful, don't have any more problems. That's all I can say, and I can pray. That's all I can do.
That is the courage that one should have. You can fall multiple number of times, but getting back on the saddle and riding well after that takes a different kind of mentality.
It's just been such a privilege and pleasure having somebody like Ganesh as part of my life.
Doctors are extensions of the one above. They do his work. He does the work via them. I believe that many of these things add into the way he comes across, terrifically humble, so highly respected around the world, and yet, so humble that he'll have a chat with just about anybody and make them feel good.
He powers through everything. That's just the way he is. He just keeps forging ahead and he doesn't look back. What's done is done. Okay, what do we do next? How to figure this out?
I think he's a visionary and a very, very kind person.
We are very proud. I'm very, very proud. That's all I can say. And I think I thank God for blessing all of them so much. And bless me also to have such a family.
I don't believe there is anything like slowing down or retiring, because if you enjoy what you're doing, then you keep going. It's not stressful. You're enjoying it. Why do you want to give it up? We all have a limited time on this planet. We come with nothing, go with nothing. Life is an experience. It's a journey. It's a journey to be enjoyed, to be lived, and do that. And on the way, you help others.